Good morning. This is One Voice with Rich Meyers. It is August 22nd, 2018, 9:25 a.m. This morning I'm going to do something different, and it's something that's personal and has been that I've been experiencing, our family has been experiencing over the last months here where we live. I wrote a letter, and it's a personal letter, and I want to read that letter to everyone here today, and you'll understand what I'm saying, especially if you've gone through something similar. The golden rule: do unto others as you would have done to you. When I was a child, I had it drilled in my head: do unto others as you would have done to you. Those were far different times, but that message is universal and is just as appropriate today as it was when I was a child. When I was growing up, I learned very quickly about how cruel kids could be. While I was just looking to get along and learn as much as I could at school, there was one particular kid who decided I would be the perfect target to unleash his pent-up anger at what was going on in his own personal life. He learned quickly he could do pretty much whatever he wanted to me, say whatever he wanted, and I would in the end just walk away, as I'd had drilled in my head as well: Richard, you're the better person for just walking away. It took me years to figure out the only way to combat a bully, especially one that is intent in his or her mission to humiliate and hurt me as much as humanly possible, and that no adult was going to stop the assault. I would have to stand up and make an example of that bully. Thing is, by the time I figured that all out, that particular bully had left school, and I had a reputation as being the big guy who could be beat on, spat on, and generally dehumanized, and I would not lift a finger to defend myself. Even my closest friends saw that in me, and when friends have spats, as they do, they would see just how far they could push me. Well, by that time, I'd simply had enough. I was an emotional wreck, and I wanted to take it out on someone. So when the time came for me to stand up for myself, I took it out on one of my best childhood friends over a girl. He challenged me, and I met the challenge. Finally, I released all of that anger and humiliation, all of the hurt and pain, on the wrong person. The result: a lost lifelong friendship. In the months after my wife and I moved here in June 2017, our granddaughter had become fast friends with another child called Alex. Though they had their rough patches, they enjoyed their time playing together. In April of this year, my daughter and granddaughter moved in upstairs from Alex. My granddaughter was excited to be able to play with who she considered to be her BFF as much as they wanted to, and that was the case. Until Layla came into the picture. From the beginning, Layla seemed to hold an animosity toward Ariana and targeted her for bad treatment. That bad treatment was not exclusive to Ariana, as she also targeted Alex. Depending on the day, both Diane and I, my wife, had separate conversations with Layla's dad about her behavior, and while he pointed out a particular behavior that Ariana exhibits that rubs Layla the wrong way, he acknowledged that Layla's behavior was not going to be tolerated and that he would make sure she acted better going forward, and if there were problems, to come up and see him. Only problem with all that, the behavior continued and got worse, and Layla's dad was most times nowhere to be found. Seeming as none of the parents involved, including now Madison's mother, my daughter as well, are never watching what is going on between the kids when they are outside playing together. And the result, as I've seen and heard on numerous occasions as I regularly watch my granddaughter at my apartment, is that Layla deliberately creates conflict between Alex and my granddaughter and pits them against each other. Despite my telling Ariana, my granddaughter, and Layla exactly where I expect my granddaughter to be if I allow her to go outside, Layla encourages my 4-year younger granddaughter to do exactly what I tell her not to do, to go in places I tell her not to be. Ariana has told me she feels she has to do what Layla instructs her to do. I assume it's a matter of she wants to make who she considers her friend happy. On many occasions, I personally witnessed Layla encourage either Alex or Madison to hide from Ariana, my granddaughter, or to take my granddaughter's space, and they willingly comply. Alex's demeanor towards my granddaughter changes the moment Layla is involved, and Madison is your typical bully sidekick who enjoys being a part of hurting another child. Ariana, in this case, is the youngest of all three. Ariana is upset by all of the above and does not know how to deal with it. In the beginning, it was non-stop tattling. When she realized no one was doing anything and those she believed were her friends continued to treat her badly, whispering, snickering, running away, encouraging certain friends to be mean, out of complete frustration, she shoved 4 years older Layla. My granddaughter's 7 and Layla is going on 12. The director of the mayhem and told her not to whisper about her, as she was doing with Madison, whispering and snickering and whatever. Of course, that was Layla's turn to play the victim. She'd completed her task. After this incident, no one will play with my granddaughter anymore, and she is being given complete blame for everything that has gone wrong when parents were not watching. I stress again, parents were not watching. Since the parents involved seem to be taking the high road and chips firmly on their shoulders that Ariana is an over-aggressive monster who cannot be trusted to play with their precious innocent ones, I've decided to write this message to each and every one of you, doing so with the understanding and admission that Ariana is not an angel and is not an innocent in this. However, she is the one that children and parents have decided to gang up on and make the example for the bad behavior of the group, especially the bad behavior and direction of the leader of the pack, Layla. Several months back, after watching all of the above as it was unfolding, I told my daughter she should forbid Ariana from playing with Layla, because there would eventually be a situation such as what has now happened, or worse. As time continued and the behavior continued, since I essentially raised Ariana for the first 6 years of her life and continue to watch her while her mother works, and I was tired of the tattling by my granddaughter and Layla, I told Ariana to stop playing with Layla altogether. I repeated this over the months, but I can only enforce rules when I have Ariana directly. My daughter, for whatever reason, continued to allow them to play together. I had also warned her against playing with Madison, as it was obvious she was getting off on tag teaming with Layla when they were together. Now we are where we are, and Ariana is paying the price for the bad behavior of a group of children, all older than her, and the oldest who seems to get a sick thrill from destroying the still 7-year-old. In the end, parents can do what they want, but understand that despite the uninformed and biased decision of the pack of wolves that Ariana will be ostracized and made odd man out because of it all, She will be encouraged to learn a valuable life lesson that no matter how badly she wants to be liked and no matter how she herself acts towards those she considers friends, there will always be those kids who get off on the pain of others. That there will always be followers of those who enjoy seeing her cry or get angry or sad. There will be parents who embolden the bad behavior and back it up, whether that parent fully understands the circumstances or not. My granddaughter does not need Layla, Madison, or Alex to move forward. She will make other friends, some good and some bad. She will learn not everyone is a good person, that not everyone will or has to like her. She has her own quirks and bad behaviors, and she must work to be a better person herself. As I said above, treat others the way you expect to be treated, even when others treat you badly. Anyway, someday all of the above who have decided to pile on one little girl for their enjoyment will be in a situation similar to Ariana's. Not going to say they deserve it, just that karma comes around. If the parent won't teach their child, society will teach them in their place. That's what happens when you don't watch what your child is doing. Ask all of the parents who have lost their children forever. To all of the lunatics and predators that are out there looking to harm children.